Hey everybody, this is Jack McGrath from Digitech Interactive, and today you're going to get smarter faster on how to make a business case for gamification. Today we're going to be covering a case study that we're going to use to illustrate a return on investment, so stick around. So let's start by talking about the big number, and that is the number of people playing games worldwide, 3.1 billion people. That's 40% of the world's population. So when a training leader needs to make sure they're making a choice on a training medium, they want to make sure that it's going to be accessible and really appeal to a broad number. And the nice thing about gamification is there are almost as many women playing as men. So it's preferred across the board. In fact, the fastest growing region is China for gamification. So this is cross-cultural appeal. So definitely that's going to be part of your business case. But let's take a look at the business case itself. So let's look at Hilton Worldwide and talk about their story and see how they were able to make a case for gamification. So let's look at the ROI, a return on investment. So what is a return on investment? Okay, first off, you just need to measure what the return of something's going to be relative to its costs. So in our example, what we're going to do is take a look at the costs, savings, and the consequences that would have resulted from training in another media instead of gamification. So to start out, let's talk about revenue. So Hilton rolled the digital key program out to their honors members. Now, those are their most valuable guests. On average, they spend way more on a stay than an average traveler. So you've got to make that customer happy. You've got to make that guest happy. So that reflects definitely to revenue. So if it's poorly trained and it's poorly rolled out, then you're going to impact that bottom line. In terms of your customers, again, honors members, there's a real interesting gag. If you ever get a chance, go up on YouTube and search for a diamond member, right? There are some really funny videos on there, but they just poke fun of the fact that diamond members expect the best of the best and ultimate service. So imagine you're rolling out a brand new technology and a diamond member comes to the front desk and your team member has no idea what they're talking about or doesn't know how to properly process the guest. Okay, that could be a huge dissatisfaction. And that honors member just could walk away and go to another chain. So we don't want that to happen. So that's a huge potential consequence. The other return on investment is going to be related to employees. At the time when Hilton made the decision, and they were a forerunner on this, digital key was never done before. A lot of team members were really concerned that the robot was stealing my jobs. They were really concerned that this automation was going to affect their job because they were meeting guests. So it was really important that this training explained what that change management process was and now what the new role is going to be of team members to keep them involved and to increase morale. So let's
Hi,
go ahead and
welcome to the Digital Key Training.
talk a little bit about the digital key training that we came up with. So when we rolled this out, basically there were some interesting things going on. Their honors members were showing up and now they're going to be able to use their cell phone. So if you think about that, that's a pretty huge change. So in the past, if a traveler would be flying all day, they'd come into a hotel, they'd arrive at the lobby, the team member was there to greet them. Hey, thanks for being an honors member. Here's your free bottle of water. And you get a lot of attention in guest service. But now with the new guest journey, you can see that guests could kind of show up at the hotel. They could kind of bypass the front desk, go straight to their room. They could go to the workout room. They could go to the business office. They could go everywhere without any team member assistance or interacting with anyone. So that could be a huge impact on the service. So the idea behind the digital key training was modules that explained the process for digital key to the team members and then explained how it would impact the pre-arrival, the arrival, and other services. Now, be aware, this was going to be rolling out to hundreds of thousands of hotels and hundreds of thousands of team members across the entire enterprise. So it was really important that we did this. And also, the training was being built while the technology was being created. So if you would have looked at consequence, had we decided to build the training in more of a video-based approach, then as content and as processes would change and refine as they did on a weekly basis, you'd have to reshoot all that video or you'd have to recreate all that e-learning. So what we proposed instead in this gamification model was an interactive job aid. First, they'd have an introduction, set up context, then an interactive job aid. The benefit of the interactive job aid is that as the details changed, it was very simple to make changes to the interactive job aid, republish that out, and you'd have your training up to date. The other benefit was that we designed these interactive job aids so they could still print them out and have them at the front desk if they wanted them to. So they did double duty. Finally, what we did was we built the game, and the game allowed you to apply the concepts that were taught in that interactive job aid in a game-based approach. So this was very much scenario-based. And what we did was we designed the game so that as the players were playing, they could go back to the interactive job aid, and then they could recheck, again, view that job aid, check it out, play it. If they didn't hit the score they needed to beat, then they could basically go back in and replay. So all of this is providing some nice rehearsal, some nice practice, and it's a lot of fun, actually. People want to get highest score. The other thing that we did was we tied their points back to the light and warmth meter. Now, Hilton's brand is to spread the light and warmth of hospitality across the globe. So in a way, what we were doing with this game experience was that we were also reinforcing Hilton's brand, really important. And you'll notice this hotel in the lower left, that was the players' hotel. So the better they played in these games, the more of the lights came on in their virtual hotel based on their light and warmth meter. So that was sort of the game design. And I think, it really was an opportunity for players to interact with the game in a really involved way. So let's talk about the results. So since we're looking at return on investment, let's look at those three criteria again. So first off, let's look at revenue. So what we can say is that within 6 months of rolling out the training and the digital key technology, there were 182,000 digital key check-ins from Honors members at the different hotels. Now, that's a huge, very fast opt-in for a brand new technology. And I think that's a testament to the training, because when things went wrong, team members knew how to respond and react and retrieve that guest. So that was a positive thing for revenue. For customers, Hilton measures their guest satisfaction based on SALT scores. And even after rolling out the digital key, with less team member interaction and guest service, the SALT scores remained. So they actually were able to remain and maintain their high guest satisfaction while they were able to roll out this brand new technology. So that was a win. And finally, with employees. So within 6 months of rolling it out, 10,000 employees had completed the game. And in addition, not only did they better understand the process of digital key, but they rated overall in the assessments, the level 1 assessments, an average of 4.3 for the quality of the training, which is very high on a 5-point scale. That's very high for 10,000 employees for a brand new program that, again, at the beginning, they were very concerned about. So ROI, what do you do? First, compare the costs with the potential returns. What I recommend you take a look at for your leadership. Now, in our case, we did revenue, we did guests and customers, and we did employees. So if you look at what would it cost if you were to do training in a different way versus what the return would be, that will help you make that ROI statement. Hey, everybody, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Please come back and check out Smarter Faster in our future episodes. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell. Keep the notifications going. Thanks.